that whatever has been sought for, whenever notices have been given, they have submitted all their phones, and phones they have been destroyed. The fact is that he's also the education minister of the state, and therefore it is very significant that he cannot just go and ordinarily return them to a shop like perhaps any other citizen can do. Also saying that at the time that these phones were destroyed, there was neither any FIR nor was there any inkling that there would be a case filed as far as this particular matter is concerned, and therefore in fact cannot be imputing any kind of motive.
Dayan Krishnan also saying that by no stretch of imagination can the grounds mentioned in the remand application and the arrest memo deserve this court to grant police remand. Dayan Krishnan also telling the judge that I don't need to tell my lords that remand is a judicial function, but the court has to see whether the constitutional mandate has been followed or not. Mayank is also with us. Mayank, you are in touch with the top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party. How are they looking at it? If the remand is granted, what will the Aam Aadmi Party do?
Well, Pranesh, the line that the Aam Aadmi Party leadership has taken since the launch of the investigation in this case is virtually constant, and it has existed since the time CBI took stock of the situation and this whole case, the saga of Delhi excise policy, which has been claimed as scam both by the CBI and also a political circle in the national capital. So Aam Aadmi Party leaders have been saying from yesterday, since the time Manish Sisodia entered the CBI headquarters for questioning after he was summoned. So they have been saying that they will go to the masses, and you can clearly, in fact, I can clearly hear that there is a protest going on by the Aam Aadmi Party, is saying that it is a clear-cut sign from the top leadership of the BJP, and that's why it is a sort of dictatorship, and that it is working on that principle that CBI has arrested Manish Sisodia. So this is the message, and this is the political line that Aam Aadmi Party has taken since the launch of investigation in this case, and they have been claiming that they have been targeted because they have grown in stature in terms of popularity and also in terms of vote share, because they have gone on to win Punjab by a whooping majority. So they are saying that as
the timing of the arrest, hold your thoughts. Mayank, Madhav, I am coming to you. The fresh arguments now trickling in. Siddharth Agarwal, senior advocate Siddharth Agarwal, also appearing for Sisodia, has now begun his arguments, and he is saying that, referring to the CBI manual, he says that I am the finance minister, I have to present the budget. Your Honor has to see the timing of the arrest. Madhav.
Well, absolutely. In fact, several such arguments coming in. CBI now has told the court that Sisodia, in capacity of excise minister, was heading a group of cabinet ministers, and there was no discussion held on the wholesale model. The entire case is of profit, and that is what our probe is based on. The conspiracy was hatched in a sensitive manner. This is what's happening as far as the CBI's counter arguments to the initial set of arguments that have been given by the defense side is concerned. So very, very significant. In fact, the legal arguments from both sides, in fact, coming in, and what is very significant is the entire process of decision making, which itself is under a cloud, is what the CBI is essentially telling the court, saying that the manner in which this entire model was decided is itself not clear, which itself indicates that there's some kind of wrongdoing or hanky-panky. That seems to be the kind of argument coming out from the CBI side as far as what is happening inside the court is concerned. So very, very important. One will, of course, have to see what the court finally decides as far as this matter is concerned. Now, of course, we know that close to an hour since, in fact, this entire hearing has been underway. What really will transpire and how quickly will the judge be in a position to dispose this case is something that we'll have to watch out for.
Absolutely. More reactions coming in. The CBI counsel is making his rejoinder submissions, but before I get to that, I want to highlight one point made by Advocate Siddharth Agarwal representing Manish Sisodia. Madhav, he says it is my submission that this case is an assault on not only an individual but even the institution. The remand in this case will send a very wrong message, and this comes at a time when the agency is seeking at least 5 days police custody. Madhav.
Well, absolutely. In fact, that is one of the arguments that has also been made in terms of the entire investigation is concerned. Of course, it is a matter of prestige for the CBI, as Bhavtosh was
Judge has reserved the order. I am getting flashes that says that judge has reserved the order. The council has submitted. The SC Judgment Council said we are not asking for his confession. He should explain. and we have been told that the order has been reserved, but we don't want to jump the gun. We'll wait for Neelashish to flash this officially. But Madhav, reports suggest that the judge has heard both sides, passionate arguments from both sides, intense hearing, and now the order has been reserved. Let's quickly sum this up for our viewers. Mayank, would you like to go over the arguments? It started with the CBI saying that this was a case for profit, money exchange hands, and which is why we want custodial interrogation.
Absolutely, Siddharth. Since the CBI has arrested Manish Sisodia on the same charges that he was evasive, he did not ask question on the what was the model that was adopted before changing the profit margin from 5% to 12%, and neither there's another point on that which has not been mentioned in the court, but CBI was making this point before as well, that the group of ministers in which the Manish Sisodia was also part of as excise minister, so they did not take the advice given by the group of experts formed and constituted by themselves. So even that is a point of contention that the CBI was trying to probe before arresting Manish Sisodia as well. So apart from that, in the court, in the Ross Avenue court, the counsel said that the CBI is not dealing this case properly, because in all the rounds of interrogation that Manish Sisodia has gone through, they want to hear the stuff and the information that they believe that are true. So that is a sort of bias. So the counsels, all the three counsels of Manish Sisodia who are representing Manish Sisodia, the Deputy Chief Minister, they are saying that the CBI is working in the biased manner and not taking facts on its totality, rather trying to and wanting to hear what they believe is true with related to that case. On the other hand, the CBI is clearly stating, the counsel for the Central Bureau of Investigation is categorically saying that this case is actually about profit, that the Aam Aadmi Party got profited from this change in policy, and that there was calculation on the part of many liquor barons in the National Capital Region. So these points have been raised by Aam Aadmi Party and also the CBI throughout the course of investigation. But in the Rouse Avenue court, where Manish Sisodia has been produced, all the three counsels have...
Phone line. Hold your thoughts. Neelashish, order reserved. Some of the arguments you were inside.
Well, yes, absolutely. The Delhi court here has reserved its order on the CBI plea for 5 days police custody of Manish Sisodia. There were arguments wherein the counsels for Manish Sisodia vehemently opposed the custody remand and said that because Manish Sisodia hasn't given the answers that the CBI wanted does not mean that he was not cooperating. Of course, the CBI very clearly stated that Sisodia, in the capacity of excise minister, was heading a group of ministers, and there was no discussion held on the wholesale model. The entire case was of profit. Now, what has been stated by the CBI was that there are two aspects. One, that the profit margins were increased from 5% to 12%, and thereafter the eligibility criteria for those who were going to take the retail shops was increased from 100 crore rupees to 500 crore rupees, and there was a conspiracy hatched in a very secretive manner. The entire case was that of profit, is what the CBI has stated. And in the light of CBI submission that Manish Sisodia was not answering properly, and that there is a further investigation in an effective manner that is required in this case, Manish Sisodia needs to be in CBI's custody for 5 days. Of course, Manish Sisodia's counsels argued that he has been cooperating, and in light of his cooperation, the fact that he did answer all the questions, it does not mean that he had to confess anything. In that light, there should be no remand in this case. Of course,
no one can preempt what the judge has in mind. The order is reserved. But Neelashish, the important point which was highlighted once or twice, in fact more than once, was that the conspiracy was hatched in a secretive manner. In as many words, the CBI said this to seek custody of Manish Sisodia.
Well, absolutely. The point that was made, Pranesh, repeatedly by the CBI, that the entire case is that of profit, and given the fact that for a 2-week period, Manish Sisodia had the hard drive copy of the group of ministers, which was reported to his secretary, that file was amended and that evidence is on record. The other aspect that was stated by the CBI was that the phones of Manish Sisodia were in fact taken, but evidence from those phones was destroyed. Manish Sisodia argues that he has given his phone as and when the notice was issued to him. He has not hidden anything. But as far as the CBI is concerned, it was stated that the phones were destroyed. There were 3 phones out of 4 which were to be recovered, but only 3 were, in fact, only 1 was recovered while 3 were, in fact, destroyed. It has been stated that this was a conspiracy and it was done in a secretive manner. Now, Manish Sisodia says that we even took the opinion of the LG in this case. His opinion, his suggestions were incorporated despite us not having to do that.
That's right. I was coming to that point because the defense is now trying to turn the tables on the CBI by suggesting that, look, the complainant in the case is the person, in this case it is the Delhi LG, who after the letter from the Delhi Chief Secretary referred it to the Economic Offences Wing and then subsequently to the CBI and asked the agency to probe. Now the defense is saying that here is a man, the buck stopped at his table. He approved the changes even if we were to believe that they were arbitrary. Why did the LG approve it? And if the LG did approve it, why are the agencies not questioning LG?